We do shop vac our plywood, but it's a very important to go on and we take a sponge and just light sponge over right before we set. That'll help pick up small dust particles that the shop vac might have missed. We don't want any bond breakers between the plywood and our Ditra. The Ditra does have to bond to the plywood for the tile to stay down. So dampening it real quick just takes a couple of seconds, and we'll do it under every piece. While he spreads the mortar to set that piece of Ditra, I'm going to kind of pan around here a little bit so you can get an idea of what we're dealing with here. You can see all the Ditra has been dry laid out and cut, and you can see we got a lot of individual pieces. The nice thing about Ditra, it doesn't have to all be one solid piece. We lose the waterproof feature, but we do have the ability to still maintain the uncoupling, which is why we use it. You can see while we're pulling mortar, the first thing that we do is take the flat side of the trowel and burn the thinset into the substrate. We want, again, to have the highest bond we can get. And to do that, we take the flat side of the trowel, burn the mortar into the crevices of the substrate, and then we'll spin the trowel around and use the teeth, the notches, to pull the mortar in straight lines, even though we don't have to pull it necessarily in straight lines for Ditra, but muscle memory does. So that's how we pull all the mortar. And then we'll use a float and we'll push the mortar, or push the Ditra into the mortar once we get it all ridged out. So we'll let him spread a little bit here, and then I'll probably stop the video for a second, let him finish spreading, and then we'll pick up when we're ready to bed the Ditra down into the mortar bed. Again, while having all these pieces of Ditra makes it much harder to waterproof the floor, it does not compromise the performance as far as uncoupling. I also want to say too, part of the benefit of wetting the plywood down before spreading the mortar helps to keep the plywood from sucking all the moisture out of the mortar mix prematurely, so we don't lose the bond that way either. The plywood's going to be very thirsty. We don't want to prematurely lose the moisture out of our mix to give the thinset the best possible chance to bond to the substrate. What we're going to do is push this in. You can see we use a mag float and some elbow grease and lean into it a little bit and go both directions while we push. And then once we get this pushed in, we're going to peel up a corner here and we'll check for coverage and make sure that we're getting really good transfer between the Ditra and the substrate. So we'll push these pieces here in. The all-set is really sticky, so it does not take much to get the Ditra to stay down and not have the curl that you see on the pieces that are not installed. So we'll get this in, and then we'll pull up a corner here and we'll see how we're doing on coverage and make sure that, yeah, we're looking for 100% and there's not hardly any orange sticking through that. We got really good transfer there. So we'll push it back down, run the mag float over it again, and we'll probably check another couple pieces here as we go, just to make sure we're maintaining good coverage and good technique. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell icon if you want to keep updated with our latest videos. And we post finished videos, how-to videos, just all kinds of stuff. Love to have you.